Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is gdoggcasey, and welcome to the Born Gosu Weekly number 4. This one is not the largest of showings here. It looks like we got 4 people who managed to make it. It's on a bit of a tough day here. WCS is going on right now, so a lot of people are glued to that. And bit of a delay getting the tournament running, so some people couldn't make it. But for the people who did make it, we're still going to put on a show, and we're going to hopefully do our best here to give you guys at least a good couple games to cast, you know? So let's turn the music on for in-game StarCraft 2. But right now we're just waiting. I'm in the party. I got the 2 players who are in the first round going at it here. And just while we're waiting, because I don't think I have anything else I can do right now, take a look at the bracket. For the Born Gosu Weekly number 4, it's called Back into the Past because we are using some old maps, and unfortunately we're not going to be able to see a lot of them because we only have a few sets going on, but this is the bracket, and the first game we're doing is between Physics Noobs and Logan. So let's get back into the actual screen and get going. Thank you very much for the follow, Commander Root. I appreciate that. And here we go. Getting into game. Perhaps I should use... No, not that one. I'm so bad at scenes. We'll stick in here until we actually get in-game. But I'm happy that we're going to be able to see at least one... that's not the Osu notification. That's Zelda, man. Anyway, we're going to be able to see one of the maps that I was really looking forward to seeing today, so that's really good. But I do appreciate you enjoying the notification, Paul. Shout out to Paul, by the way. He's the one who is adminning this thing. And we're in the lobby here, just waiting for the go-ahead. Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Listen.
Hemist, thank you for the follow as well. Oh my god, I forgot to actually put up the notifications on this scene. It's because I put it together like 30 minutes before we were ready to go. Alright, let's let them know I'm ready. Maybe they're waiting on me. And let's get into it. Let's go, boys. Oh, Hana. It has been a long, long time since I have played a game on this map. But I do remember it. At least, I remember quite a few games that happened on this map. But that was so long ago. We got Logan going up against Physics Noobs. Logan is playing random. He is real-life Grandmaster. Probably one of the better players on the entire team. Who has the occasion to have matches against players such as Hero Marine and Lambo and others on ladder. And actually take games off them. So Physics Noob is going to be in for a little bit of an uphill battle, but you know what? It's the BG Weekly. It's really just about, you know, getting your games done and showing the rest of your team what you're made of, and maybe he can kill a drone or 2, you know? That's the hope. Or at least a worker, since Logan's going to be playing random here. Thank you, Rook, as well, for the follow. I appreciate that, man. Okay. Looks like we're finally starting to load in here. And as I said that, we still haven't yet. I don't know what's going on. This is one of the longest loading screens of my life. Okay, here we go. Alright, so on Ohana Ladder Edition, in the top left corner.
Hey, listen.
In the pink, it is Physics Noob. A little bit of lag going on here. It's been that kind of day. That's how good Logan is, okay? You can't even move your Overlord in time before he's already beaten you. So I don't know what happened there. I guess he dropped. Yeah, he's offline. Crashed or something. Paul's been trying his best to keep this tournament able to go and make sure everything is happening and everything, and and just things keep happening. Oh, Logan mentioning in chat that he doesn't think he has ever even seen Ohana. He only just started playing StarCraft 2 towards the last season of Heart of the Swarm, so yeah, probably not. Probably not. To be fair, I can't even remember off the top of my head if Ohana was even in HOTS. It could have been all the way back to Wings of Liberty. It might have been in HOTS. The main thing I remember about Ohana is parting doing, like, Immortal Sentry all-ins. That's pretty much it. And it's very easy to cut off the third base, which we will get into once we actually start playing. Just waiting to get Logan in the game here. Okay, here we go. Sorry guys, my camera angle is... There's a reason why my camera is on an annoying angle, but... yeah. Okay, so finally now loading into Ohana for the second time. Hopefully it gets in there a little bit quicker. Okay, here we go. The game is actually moving. Alright, in the top left of Ohana, in the pink, it is Physics Noob. And in the bottom right corner, in the red, playing Terran, which I believe is his main race, it is Logan. Deciding not to wall off here against Zerg. Probably just going for some style points here, I'd say, from Logan. But it's interesting to... learn what is Physics Noob gonna try to do here. Is he gonna play like extra safe and maybe intimidated of the Grandmaster? Does he want to try to macro up with him? Or is he gonna try to go for some incredibly cheesy all-in? Already it's looking like he's gonna be going for that hatchery first. Okay. Okay, I've seen this kind of thing. Logan building the barracks down on the natural ramp here. And let's take a look at Ohana, since, you know, this is pretty much the point of this tournament, is to showcase some older maps. The third base is really incredible to hold here because of the rocks. You have to actually take those down so that you can transfer queens down and lings to defend. And it's just totally cut off here from the rest of the natural until you break open those rocks. And even still, you got these tiny little choke points that you have to defend. Once you get these rocks broken down, as we see the 3 racks coming out of Logan up here, then you can finally take your third base and, you know, start to defend like a, you know, a main area. And then move on to the 4th base, usually up here. So once you get past that phase, it starts to open up a little bit, gets a little better for the players, but you have to get there. And that's why 2 base all-ins were like a real big deal on this map, because like if they try to take a 3rd base, it's just really easy to kill them. Anyway. Orbital command going down here, just Reapers, and only Reapers coming out of Logan. The Overlord is in position to spot the barracks and spot the no natural. So what's he going to do here? We got 4 lings coming out. We got speed and queens being made. He's pulled out of gas. And the Reaper's going to come up here and start to take a look. Hopefully not kill too many lings here if you're Physics Noob. 1 already going down. And this kind of thing can really start snowballing if this is your... if your strategy is to start banking up Reapers and just go insane. You're already killed 2 or 3 lings at this point, and now it's going to be even harder with multiple Reapers coming in. Logan showing no signs of an expansion here. He's going to try to use these Reapers and only these Reapers. The Queen plays a huge role in the defense here. He absolutely cannot lose the Queen. As soon as the Queen goes down, it's next to impossible to even begin to catch up here. Queen already goes down. Drones are going to start going down as well. Logan backing up a little bit, giving the Spinecrawler a little bit of time to finish. The Spinecrawler will help a little bit, but of course, the Reapers can just run right by it. So following these Reapers here, they're going to see if there's a way to get into the main, but there actually isn't on this map. And I'm not sure I agree with the decision to open up the rocks here from Physics Noob, because that's just going to give these Reapers another angle to come in. Second base has gone down for Logan, so he's going to start to, you know, macro out of this, but he's still making only Reapers, and he's still picking off tons of drones. As 3 more Reapers join the attack here. He doesn't necessarily want to be fighting around the Spinecrawler. It's going to be just free damage for Physics Noob, so he's literally just cutting off all drone reinforcements here, and Ling reinforcements. Anything that wants to move this way is going to get picked off. And I mean, he's just going to have so many Reapers that he's going to be able to kill the spawning pool at some point. Looks like Physics Noob is trying his best to figure out, like, how can he actually deal with this, because it's getting to that point now where it's just getting a little ridiculous as more and more Reapers are joining the fray. We have additional barracks going down behind this as well. So he's just going crazy with these Reapers here, and I don't even think he's lost a single one yet, as the Lynx are deciding they want to engage right now. Going to be backing into a corner, and I think a couple went down. What's the hotkey for that? I don't actually know. Is it Control L? No. I don't know the hotkey to figure out how many units died, but it might actually be 0 still. This base doesn't have a chance in hell to go up. It's going to get taken out incredibly quickly. And again, like, when these rocks go down, I've said it a couple times, but it's just extra avenues of attack at this point for Logan. But he's actually backing up here. I think he wants to do a little bit of macro back at home. He's only getting barracks still. Literally not a single factory in the map. He's getting +1 for the Reapers and just making more and more barracks. This reminds me of the staircase method way back in the day when you're like trying to get good at StarCraft, and they tell you, okay, only make barracks and marines. Don't worry about anything. Don't get any gas. Just only make barracks, only make supply depots, and only make marines. Here we go. Getting a little bit of a wraparound. A couple of these Lings are going to start to take out a few of these Reapers. And generally, as soon as you start bleeding off Reapers, it signifies the end of your Reaper attack. Now, I don't think that's necessarily the case here for Logan, because he does have a bit of a serious lead. Although, if you think about it, Physics Noob is up in supply at the moment. And his Overlord spread is pretty good. He's seeing where these Reapers are. He knows he's got to defend his third base here. He's keeping the Queens on the ramp. That base is taking so much damage here. He might get a cancel. He actually kills it with these Reapers. The Reapers are a little bit trapped now. What is he going to be able to do? It's going to take some extra special micro to get out of this one, and it looks like the Lings are dying much faster than expected. Remember, these Reapers have +1 attack right now, and they're just forcing their way through. He's losing some Reapers, but he killed every single Queen and every single Ling, and this is just insane. I don't even think these Roaches are going to even matter at this point. With this many +1 Reapers and more coming in, he's making 9 Reapers at a time, just rallying constantly across the map. And I don't think I've ever seen anything go this crazy. I've never seen anybody go this crazy with Reapers before. And I will say it is pretty entertaining. The Spinecrawler getting into a better position here, but at this point, he actually can fight where the Spinecrawler is. He's just slapping these Roaches around left, right, and center. This is actually like one of the funniest things I've ever seen, and I apologize to Physics Noob. I'm not necessarily trying to, you know, laugh at your expense here, but it's just Logan styling with the Reapers, and that's going to do it for the first game of the tournament. And Logan is going to take that, and let me just adjust the angle again. As we got to see a pretty fun game there from Logan, just only Reapers, 100% nonstop. And that's going to do it. So he is going to move on. It looks like we did end up getting another player joining, but it is... I don't actually see him on the bracket. Let's show you the bracket. Oh, is that build actually common? I play Zerg on ladder, and I don't think I've ever had anyone do that to me, ever. And that's the first time I've ever seen it, but, I mean, that's just my experience with it. Alright, so it looks like we're just waiting for the next match here. Yeah, I get you, Jesus. I think that's definitely true. So we got Hemis coming into the party, and then I guess Rook. There we go. Gonna be playing the next match. This one's gonna be a semifinals match. So somebody mentioned that we were gonna have another player join, but it doesn't seem to actually be happening that way, as we can see. But that's okay. We'll see what map we're going to play on this time. I remember reading the maps from the map pool list, and there was a few of them that actually stood out to me, but not every one. Okay, so set 2 is going to be on Abyssal Reef, so this one isn't necessarily that old. Oh, and Ibram is the new player. Okay. I actually thought that he was already in the bracket, but I guess I just made that up. Yeah, I have seen the 3 racks before, but I was mostly talking about just like 9 racks, like +1 Reapers. You know, I never actually saw it get that crazy. So we got the party ready, just waiting to set up the actual game. I believe it's on Abyssal Reef. Can't find the map. Just doing a little bit of searching here for Abyssal Reef. Yeah, it's not showing up that way, but you gotta go Blizzard maps, I believe. Abyssal. Maybe we have to go harder. No, I don't know. In Melee. Yeah, Melee Blizzard maps. I'm here too, and I'm actually not seeing it either. Just make Hemis the leader.
Hey, listen!
Hey, Physics Noob, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate that. I still remember that I still realized that I forgot to add the follow pop-ups. Let me just do that like super quick. I don't know if it's in the right spot, but that's okay. Alright, looks like we're finally loading into it. In Paul's defense, I was having a bit of difficulty finding Abyssal Reef. I do see it now. Actually, yeah, now it's right there. You know what? I wonder if it was just taking a while to load. Sometimes that can happen. Like you'll go into a custom and then the maps are just sort of trickling in. I don't know. I wasn't paying 1000% attention. But I can tell you, we are trying to load in now. And if we go back to the bracket real quick, we're just gonna go over the game we're playing here. Hemis versus Rook. So Hemis is, I believe, a diamond level Terran player. Played a little bit of peep mode with him. Rook, I'm actually not familiar with. I know he's a new member to the team. Who maybe he said... God, I keep forgetting this scene, by the way. That's my fault. I'm sorry. I think I might have remembered Rook saying that he was part of Born Gosu a while back, and now he's back. But maybe I just made that part up as well. Plat Terran, okay. So we're gonna have a TVT here. Whenever I play TVT, I'm cheesing 100%. One base, Liberator tanks with like trickling Marines. Sometimes it works, but typically if they get a Viking, it's pretty hard. So we're still trying. We're struggling here to get into this map. It looks like we're getting a little closer, but Paul's having a bit of trouble getting in here. Okay, yeah, Rook was here in the past. I don't think the servers are down, man. Right now it's showing just you are not signing in. If you want, we can try kicking you from the party. And then... Oh, is it downloading? Could be. Alright, Paul's gonna restart his client here. Go back to the bracket. With Logan being the only GM in the tournament, it's going to be pretty difficult. Onibram is actually a very good Zerg player. But going to be starting the tournament with an uphill battle. I mean, when we have 5 people in the tournament and one of them is a GM and the rest are Diamond or lower. Actually, no. Onibram is Masters player. But then the rest are Diamond or lower. You know, it's just kind of what we're going to see. Once again, messing up my finger, but here we go. Can we do it this time? We are doing it. It's happening. It's working. Everyone's ready. All right, man. See you in a bit. Hemist offering to play a different race. I don't think it's necessary. I'd say just pull out your Terran. But we do allow race. He heard me say that, and I think he just answered to me. But I'm not the boss. I was just saying, if it was me, I would just play your main race. But we do allow race switching in this tournament, so it's totally fine if that's what you want to do. But it does look like we are getting into it. Finally loading onto Abyssal Reef. This map was incredibly popular for a long time. Pretty much one of the main maps, if I remember right, for quite a while. But here we are. In game. All right. So, in the bottom right corner of Abyssal Reef, representing Born Gosu, playing in the red, he is Hemist. And in the top left corner, the Terran player, Rook. So in TVT, you know, it's one of those matchups, it's actually kind of hard to cast, in my opinion, just because there's so many different ways you can go about doing things in this game. And typically one of the things you think about is you pretty much always have to go gas first. That's at least the kind of thing I've heard. We're seeing both of these players going gas first. Rook actually has very early gas here. It's already pretty low. Just lowering the volume a little bit. It was coming across a little loud. Let me know though, if it's actually too low now, I'll adjust it. It might have been good the way it was. Rook going with the early supply depot to wall things off here. And both players have SCVs out on the map. Whoa, oh, okay. Yeah, see, I actually totally remember that shark up here. He's somewhere around, and he gets in the camera's way from time to time, but I thought it was a major graphical glitch. It was not. Total one base stuff so far going down here for Rook. And he's building a proxy factory over here just outside the main. And this kind of thing, I've actually seen players like proxy something and then lift it into the main. I don't know about this map, if that's what people do. It's probably not a smart idea if it gets caught, but I've seen it done on occasion. And both players are actually proxying each other here. Hemist is doing it with a barracks. He's got a barracks at home, and he's making another barracks. So he's essentially doing probably like a 2 racks Reaper play. And Rookie's getting his own Reapers at home. We'll have to see what each player wants to do. This is going to be pretty interesting to see how it plays out. One Reaper already out on the map for Hemist, but I think Rook is going to have one. Yeah, he should be fine as long as he gets the first shot from the high ground vision. Reapers can come in from the side here in the main, so Hemist already in the main. Going to be dueling it out against this Reaper. Looks like Hemist is going to take that battle. Oh! SCV's being pulled off the line. They're going to push the Reaper back a little bit. Take some extra damage for their trouble. A second Reaper's about to pop out here for Rook. And it doesn't look like there are more Reapers coming out here for Hemist. So he's actually lost that first Reaper. A little bit unfortunate. Again, as mentioned before, if you do Reaper all-ins like this, although I don't know if this is all-in, it doesn't look like he's trying to make it all-in. He's getting a second base, but if you start to lose your Reapers early, it can really shut down the attack. But Hemist is keeping it up here, continuing to pick off lots of SCVs. The proxy on the other side hasn't really gotten going yet, so right now it's all on Hemist to do as much damage as he can. A second or third Reaper now goes down very quickly here from Rook, and Hemist is kind of having his way with Rook a little bit, picking off so many SCVs, 6 at this point, as another Reaper makes it all the way home. And still, Rook, hasn't been able to do much with his build on the other side of the map. He's constantly focusing on not losing SCVs, but now that there's 4 Reapers here, they're killing SCVs in one shot. Oh my god, this is incredible coming out of Hemist, and Rook is going to have a real hard time doing anything here. We already know what's going to happen on this side of the map. The Reapers are constantly murdering everything, but there is a Thor out now, so how can this affect the outcome of this game with a Reaper as well? Going to try to bust on in here and get something done. There's a Cyclone coming out, and I don't think the Cyclone's going to be the answer against the Thor, if I'm honest. But the Reapers here still getting lots of damage done. It looks like he might actually take the Reapers home. I think that's a good idea, because the Reapers might actually be able to take this out. SCVs surrounding the Cyclone to keep it alive. I guess that's a pretty good idea, but the Thor is bursting it down very quickly. Now the Thor is starting to rack up the kills here on the SCV, and this is looking pretty dangerous for Hemist. He's going to have to be able to kill the Thor with the Reapers, and it looks like he is going to eventually be able to get it with the help of some SCVs. They're going down so fast. I mean, this Thor is going to die, and Rook is going to GG, but if Rook didn't take so much damage back at home to those SCVs, or to those Reapers, sorry, then we might have had a different situation. I have to keep adjusting the camera after, because when I have the camera pointing at my face, the monitor is like at an angle that I really dislike. Oh yeah, Hemist mentioning in chat he remembers that map was around when Reapers were doing very well, and he is right. He had the option to go into the main. Oh, it's okay, Rook. I mean, you guys both proxied each other, and he just hit you with the one that hits earlier, you know? So I wouldn't take that too much to heart. That's just, yeah, you almost got it, too. The Thor, I'd say if there was a chance to get a second Thor out, which might be a little bit ambitious considering how all the SCVs died, but still, if you get that second Thor out, then I think totally would have been good. And Hemist made good decisions by, you know, bringing in the SCVs and bringing the Reapers all the way home. So, honestly, that was a much closer game than I expected it to be. So, Hemist is going to take that win, and he's going to move on to the finals already, as we're going to get ready for the second semifinals match. Take a quick look at the bracket here. Onibrum versus Logan going to be the next match, and this is going to be the one that is probably going to provide the highest level play. Once again, screwing up my my scenes there. Because we got Onibrum, who is a Masters 1 player, and we got Logan, who is a GM at the level to occasionally take games off of pros. So, you know, it's going to be a little tough even as a Masters 1 player, but still. We'll see. He's got the ability to cheese it out real well. Alright, just looking. What's the map going to be? Interloper. Alright, so Interloper is a map name that I remember hearing the name of, but I don't actually remember the map at all. Looking for Interloper. It's there. I'll take host, Paul, and I will load up Interloper. Okay. I really do think it's just one of those things where the maps just take a minute to load, you know? So let's see. Again, I remember the name Interloper, but I really don't remember the map at all, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. Paul's having a hard time today. Alright. I am host. I don't think Logan is a fan of this map. Now, I might be wrong. I don't think I'm going to have time to fact check this either. But I think that Logan was actually taken out of the last Born Gosu Weekly, and it might have been Onibrum who took him out. It might have been. I'm just going to say ready because the players aren't saying ready. Okay, everyone's ready. Good. Let's go. Let's actually go. Logan, once again, queuing up as random. As a kind gesture to his teammates to give them a slight chance. But even as a GM, when you're playing the other races, you have like a game knowledge that even Diamond players don't have, even Masters players don't have. But Onibrum, he's got it. He's got it. I've seen Onibrum play some really good games. So... it was close. Yeah, it was like an insane cheese fest, like early pool stuff. So, you know, I wouldn't be too surprised if we see something like this again. All right, I'm moving the camera up. See, that's what it normally looks like when I'm looking at the camera on the angle that I'm comfortable with. So let's get into the game and get off of this silly camera. All right, guys, here we are in the semifinals. The winner of this game goes up to play Hemist in the finals. And here we go in the top left, once again getting his main race. In the blue, it is Logan. And the bottom right corner of the map, in the red, the only player who probably has a realistic shot at taking out Logan, it is Onibrum. Logan did not tell his race. So Onibrum has to play this a little gingerly. It's always a different dynamic when you don't know what race you're playing against. Something that, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of. It makes the game weird, you know? You never really know where you are until you see who you're up against. And due to that, both players might end up making some different decisions. You know? A lot of players who don't play random think that random players are set out to cheese them all the time. And there are some random players who do that. You know? So, it's hard to have a real good idea of where you are in the game until finally you see that you're up against Terran in this case, and you can be happy with the opener that you chose. So we'll see here. Onibrum probably not the happiest person in the world to learn that he's up against Logan's Terran. But Logan is not going with the 3 racks shenanigans here. It looks like he wants to play a more normal game. And same thing from Onibram. He's playing very standard. It's a little early to deviate from this kind of build right now. So we're going to see. Does he want to go with Roaches? Does he want to go Banelings? Getting his Overlords in position. Reaper pops out. Already a factory coming down. That Reaper's going to go across the map and try to get the scouting information. Maybe pick off some Lings. Be interested to see how this engagement goes between a Masters 1 player and a GM. How much better is Logan exactly? There's only 4 Lings to defend. Pretty greedy in my opinion. The 4 Lings can do it. But when you're playing against Logan, he's going to pick off 1 Ling right here. And then just circle around and run out. Gonna get his health back a little bit and come back in later. Onibram sticking with queens and drones at the moment. He's gonna be looking to take a 3rd base. Oh, look at that drone. How'd that drone get out there? I totally missed it, but sneaky drone gets the 3rd base down. That's a good step in the right direction for Onibram here. As the Reaper's gonna come back in. The queen is going to stop him from getting too much damage done, but he's still going to try to just be annoying. You know, maybe throw Onibram off his game a little bit. Nice Overlord positioning to keep an eye out for that Reaper. Meanwhile, on the other side, Factory has been switched over to the Reactor, and we got Hellions coming out here. Nice Hellion skin on that. Is that the new one, or is that an older one? I can't really tell. I haven't unlocked them yet. I don't think, anyway. Or if I have, I just haven't used them. The Hellions are going to come with the Reaper supporting. Those Lings are not going to be enough. And in fact, there's no Lings on the field right now. This Hellion Reaper force is moving out a lot earlier than expected. Because usually, you know, you move across with 4 to 6 Hellions. But he's just moved across with 2. Now the Lings have popped here and they're going to try to get us around. They are off creep. The Reaper goes down. Not terrible for Onibram, but we got more Hellions following it up here from the top side. And they're going to just, you know, take turns shooting this hatchery a little bit. Doesn't take incredible damage from Hellions. And the Lings look like they're going to try to go counterattack. Could be a solid play. This Viking looking for spotting Overlords is actually going to find one over here. And we got a Roach Warren coming down here for Onibram, as more and more Hellions are adding onto this force. And this is when it starts to get a little bit scary. Where did those Lings go? They're coming on in. They're getting a run by here, but Hellions are already out. They're going to be able to pick off a few SCVs and actually force all of the Hellions from Logan to come back. So this would be a successful attack here from Onibram, killing off 4 drones, or 4 SCVs, sorry. And he only lost a few Lings. He's also bought himself some time for his Roach Warren to get out. He's getting some Evo Chambers as well. Spinecrawler in position, because that's what I was about to say about the Hellions. The dangerous thing about them is that they can just dive in. And it doesn't even really matter if you have some defense sometimes, because they'll just run right past and find a spot that is less defended. And we're going to see Logan do exactly that right now as he slides on in outside of range with the Spinecrawler. Some Lings are in position, and they're going to be able to push this back for the time being. But all the Lings are already dead. So the Hellions are diving back in, getting to the back of the mineral line here. The Queen is trying her best, but these drones are starting to go down in large numbers. The Roaches are popping just a little bit too late. I don't think Logan really cared if he was going to lose these Hellions, and even still, well, almost manages to get out with 2 of them. But Onibram is going to start moving across the map now. He's getting Lair. There was a Liberator in the back this whole time. It's got 8 kills that I didn't see. That is totally my fault. And Onibram is a little bit in shambles right now. And this is the kind of thing that a player who is in shambles does, right? They're like, well, I lost like 50 million drones, so I might as well just all in because I can't catch up. This Queen even going to go down, and this Liberator going to get even more damage done. And, I mean, look at this setup from Logan here. He's got a strong wall with the command center. He's getting a fusion core. He's going to go for that Liberator range, I think, and Banshees. Here comes Onibram trying to get as much damage as he can. He's got 2 Overlords already. There's more Liberator shenanigans going on across the map, just so you know. And it only takes 1 Liberator here to defend against these Roaches. He's got a second one as well, just for good measure. The Ravagers are being made, but Onibram has next to no money to even deal with this. Is he even mining from any base? The Liberators just keep on coming, and unfortunately Onibram keeps losing his queens as well, so once again being pushed back by Banshees this time, and Onibram is just getting choked out here. And, you know, it's one of those things when you're playing up against a player who is just, like, as good as Onibram is, you can see the skill difference between Onibram and Logan here, as Logan is just pretty much dismantling him. And he's got 3 command centers out. He's got 2 starports. He's making a 4th command center. And look at the production tab in comparison here. Just really not looking good. Onibram going to come back. Looks like he's trying to make some drones here. He's only at 9 right now. So he's got a long way to go to catch up to Logan. And then considering mules as well. But Logan taking a step back here. Pretty much all he was doing was defending and harassing with Liberators, right? So he's not even put together his killing force. He's got 2 more Liberators sieging up here, but realizing there's no drones, he's going to try back into the bait again. And there's almost no queens here for Onibram. He's got 1 queen on the map. Is that it? Yeah, he can't afford to remake queens when he's trying to remake all these drones. He does have a spore crawler, but how much is that really going to help? Getting into some better position is going to help. But there are spots here that the Liberators can find to avoid getting hit by the spore crawlers. And you can see them trying to micro around, but every time these Liberators force drones off the line, it is just incredible damage for Onibram, since he's already got such a small economy. And he can just sit these Liberators over the bases and take out this larva, and even that is incredible. And again, picking off even more drones here. And again, I apologize to Onibram for focusing heavily on the way that he is being dismantled, but you know, this is just what happens when you play against a GM at the skill level of Logan. Still only 10 workers. Logan has 72 SCVs. Absolutely really far ahead. But here's a mistake that Logan has made. You can see here he's being incredibly inefficient with his SCVs over here on the gas. Now, this isn't the type of mistake that... Oh, he's fixed it. Okay. Well, there you go. I was going to say, you know, it's not the type of mistake that will cost you the game, but it's a small mistake that I can, you know, note on. But even then, it only lasted for a few seconds. And with this many Liberators, I mean, Liberators can't kill buildings, right? So he can't necessarily win the game here. He does have a Banshee, though. And with the Banshee, he can. If he can take out all the queens. Do we have a lair yet? Okay, yeah, we do have a lair. But there's nothing to really do with the lair. And here we go. All these Banshees, or all these Liberators, sorry, just setting up shop. The Ravagers are going to help. This isn't perfect. But 1 queen actually ends up losing her life as she steps into the Liberator Freedom Zone. And the rest of the Ravagers now have an opening here to start picking away. But still, so much drones gone down now. 61 workers at this point. And again, Logan is just building only bases and just moving them all across the map. And only Liberators and only starports. So, you know, he's having fun with it here. Onibram managed to get up to 21 workers, which is the highest it's been in a while. Logan gonna sacrifice a Liberator here. And he'll eventually end up sacrificing a lot more if he just stays there. But no, he'll move. He's just trying to find like different ways that you can harass with Liberators at this point. You know, the world is his oyster. He can do literally whatever he wants. So that's what he's doing. That Liberator's gonna die. But Onibram is back to below 19 workers. He's making 8 right now. And I got to admire Onibram's persistence to continue making drones and essentially just say, no, I'm only making drones. I'm trying to get up to a decent amount so I can make some Hydras or something. He hasn't even got a Hydra den yet. Maybe a Spire. We'll see, though. The thoughts of a Spire is probably about 5 minutes away here for Onibram. Using the Spore Crawlers to some good effect, forcing the Liberators away. But look at how many Liberators are coming in now. just parking right on top of the natural. That's where most of the drones are. A few parking over the third. The drones have nowhere to mine. The Liberators are raining freedom from above. One Spore Crawler getting some damage done. Look at this. He's just killing all the larvae. And eventually these Liberators are going to go down, or at least be forced to move. But this is just getting to be a little bit too much, as once again, below the 20 worker mark for Onibram. And he doesn't even have any larvae. He's got 3 up here. There's nothing going on the other side of the map either, besides more and more command centers getting made. He's making 6 orbital commands and 4 command centers at the same time. 8 Liberators at a time coming out. He's scanning because he can scan whenever he wants. And these Spore Crawlers now, finally the Spore Crawlers are in positions here where there's almost nowhere to go. But in the main, it's still open. Ravager's doing good work though. Taking Onibram to below 10 drones now. This has got to be so frustrating for Onibram, but at this point I think he's just having fun with it as well. How long can he last before he is killed by Liberators? Banshee's coming in here. That Banshee's going to die. Terrible mistake. And a Viking landing here. He's got double the Liberators he had last time, it feels like. One Liberator still just doing so much damage. I don't really know what his plan is. I think he just wants to siege up on the bases, stop all the larvae from building, try not to die to Liberator or to Spore Crawlers, and try to avoid or try to stop Onibram from even being able to build any units at all. Well, he continues to just build command centers all over the map. Again, the Spore Crawlers do pretty good damage, especially with help from the Ravagers. So that's why Onibram just isn't dead yet, you know? He can just keep trying to make workers. This is turning into a pretty troll game, if I must say so myself. I think it got into troll mode about 10 minutes ago. It seemed like he was going to open up normal and have like a nice standard game, but then it just devolved into this, where it's just Liberators just trying to pick off every single larva in the whole game. And Onibram trying to have 1,000 Spore Crawlers to stop this from happening, because that's all he can do. He's just now managed to get himself over the 10 worker mark again. These Liberators are not going to last. He did find a hole here, though. Once again, Egg's dying. And now he's just making Vikings. Mass Vikings here. Now this will actually be able to get the kill. I think that's what he's going to do. Just land all the Vikings and kill them with that. Jelly is indeed getting liberated. And there are still spots where there are no Spore Crawlers covering, so he can just continue to find these holes. And that's all Jelly can focus on right now, whereas Logan is just sitting back and just making only Vikings and command centers still. Getting some more gas over here. Oh, he's getting lots of gas. He's got 7,000 banked. The creep spread starting to move out here, and this is the longest that Jelly, or Onibram, sorry, has been able to mine for a while, but that's about to finish here as these Vikings are going to walk in. And when you have this many Vikings, they still do some pretty good damage. And there it goes. That is going to do it as Onibram finally taps out. And Logan will move on to the finals. Oh, shit. What a game. What a game. Well done. That was fun. So, Logan moves on to the finals here, as we can take a look at the bracket. It's going to be a best of 3. That's not the bracket. This is Logan versus Hemist. Oh, sorry. GG. So game 1. Well, I don't know. It says best of 3. Dusk Towers, Sequencer, and Belshir Vestige. I don't know if that's the order. Logan saying in chat that he's actually killed Destiny and Neuro with that Liberator build stuff. That's pretty funny. If you do it early enough, it seemed like all he can really do was... Oh, am I the host here? I am, huh? Sequencer. I'm looking for it. There it is. I'm going to create with the Game Heart mod. Alright, get Logan in, get Hemist in. Looks like Logan is deciding to play Zerg for this match. And Hemist, I believe, is sticking with... Maybe, anyway. I don't know. He's debating. Hemist is wondering if he should play Protoss. I don't know what his experience with Protoss is. But we're just waiting to get things going. Logan is ready. Hemist is ready. Let's go, go, go. I don't care if Paul's ready or not. He's getting in the game. Alright. So here we go, guys. Loading onto Sequencer, or Sequencer. I don't know how you say it. Sequencer, I guess. Oh my god, this map. I totally remember looking at... Okay, this map rings a bell. I think this map was popular before I was really into it. Or before I was really playing a crap ton of StarCraft. Maybe I'm wrong, but take a look at that map. The one thing I remember about looking at this map, I will get into after I introduce the players here. In the top right corner of Sequencer, in the blue, playing Terran, he is Hemist. And the bottom left, in the red, playing Zerg for the first time, I think, today, it is Logan. So look at Sequencer. Look at all these little high ground spots. They're all over the place. There's just these little pockets of high ground. And there's rocks everywhere. And the one thing that I think about when I see this type of map is how good Colossi must be. Like, or basically just how good a Protoss ball would be on this map. Because you can just set up on top of these high grounds all over the place and take fights. So, we don't have a Protoss in this game, so it doesn't really matter. We shall see what Hemist decides to do. We'll see what Logan decides to do. I have no idea how much Zerg he's played. Paul says this map brings back memories. Yeah, see, everybody's got different maps that really, like, that it bring back memories for them, you know? From when they were young or from when they were bad at the game and finally starting to try to get good. I like this. Logan going for the 3 hatch before pool play. Trying to assert his dominance, really. Basically telling Hemist, hey, I don't think you can kill me no matter what I open with, so I'm going to open with 3 hatch, and if you don't kill me, I'm going to have a huge lead. Now, to be fair, I don't have a lot of experience opening 3 hatch against Terran, so I don't actually know, you know, how can the Terran actually punish this if he scouts it out? At this point, he's just going about his build, right? So it's going to be pretty hard for Hemist to punish it, because eventually, like, the Lings will get out. You know, he can't necessarily send a bunch of Hellions across the map just yet. But he is sending a Reaper. And that Reaper might scout it out. We'll see. Queens are getting started here. 6 Lings on the way. Much more safe option than the 4 that Onibram decided to go with in the last game. 6 will allow you to have a little bit of leeway with your Lings when you're trying to fight off this Reaper. Out come the Lings. Not necessarily super late. They are a little late. And he's gonna... Uh-oh. Oh, nice little play there from the Reaper. Getting the Lings out of the way. That was actually pretty slick. Still hasn't been able to get a kill yet. Looks like he will pick off a drone. And there we go. Hemist has done the impossible. And he's picked off a drone. And he's basically happy. At this point, whatever else happens doesn't matter. He's picked up the victory in his mind. And really, that's what it's about. Switching over the factory. And did he get a look at the third base? He didn't. So he still doesn't know that the third base is even there. So yeah, it's pretty interesting thinking about the 3 hatch before pool against Terran. I'm not necessarily sure. Like, obviously, if the Terran is proxying or doing some sort of early cheese garbage, it's going to be next to impossible to hold. But the standard Hellion timing, like, he's got what he needs to defend against it now. The Lings are moving across the map. And the Hellions are pretty much all that's needed. No micro, though, coming from Hemist. He actually lets one of the Hellions fall. The second one might as well, but he's got a SCV here repairing. And more Hellions are going to pop out, so it's not like these Lings are poised to win the game or anything, but little bit sloppy from Hemist losing that Reaper, or that Hellion, sorry, to the slow Lings of Logan. So Logan's probably pretty happy with that trade. Starting to gas up and continuing to make drones on this side. He's already got 40. But he hasn't moved into Lair yet. Although I guess it's pretty early for Lair. He's just droning up here. We do have an armory dropping for Hemist. He's going to follow up. Okay. So this is the build that we saw quite a bit when we were playing Peep mode. Where it's essentially like 8 Hellions or something. And then 3 Marines. And you bring the medevac over. And you just have some Marines to help support the Hellbats. And it can actually turn into a bit of a nightmare. And if Logan gets caught over-droning, then it could cause problems for him. But he's making a lot of Queens. Look at this. He's already got 5 up here that are spreading incredible amounts of creep. And he's continuing to pump out Queens. He's actually not even getting a Lair. He's only making Queens. And this kind of thing is totally all you really need to defend against this place. So it's a little silly when you say it out loud that, like, technically all you really need is Queens. But we're going to see it here. The Hellions are going to come up. They're going to try to transform. And then the Queens are just going to rip them to shreds. Or at least force them back home. There are so many here. He's already seeing it. Looks like he's going to still try to commit. And we have 20 Lings being made from Logan. But yeah, I think Hemist is going to realize pretty quickly here that this is not an engagement that he actually wants to take. If he wants to win the game. Now, this is a good idea. I'm liking this. The creep spread is so good for Logan that he can't help but see it. So he's going to be able to chase it down. But I still like the idea. And it looks like... Uh-oh. something bad happened with a rally point there from Hemist. But I don't think he can really hope to get much damage done here. We'll have to see. If he morphs into Hellbats, maybe he can take out a lot of these Lings. But the Lings are already surrounding all the Hellions. And they're going down. Not even getting picked up in the medevac. Is going to have a lonely trip back home to the other side of the map without any companions that she left with. She's going to tell horror stories to her Terran overlords back at home. Looking like we're getting 4 command centers out here for Hemist. And, you know, Logan has essentially left him alone. He's making only Queens and drones. He's going into Infestors now, or at least Infestation Pit. He's getting melee upgrades, so we'll see here. A few Lings coming across. No upgrades yet for them, and this is pretty well defended. He could start to take down some of these rocks, maybe, if he wants to open up some multi-prong attacks, but looks like he's just going to go back. Logan has 62 drones so far, and there's the Infestation Pit. Is he going to rush Hive, or is he going to make Infestors, or what? Over here, Hemist is starting to get up a nice infrastructure. He's got his, upgrade buildings pretty much ready to go, making a lot of barracks, a lot of Marines. Doesn't have a lot of add-ons on these barracks yet, I don't know if he feels safe to take the time to do that, but I think that's pretty important. So we'll see if he gets into that soon. And I think we're just seeing it from Logan again here. He's just expanding all over the map. He's spreading creep everywhere. Making 3 macro hatches. Getting hive. And probably upgrades as well. Trying his best to spend all the money he's got. He's banking up a ton of gas, so he's going to be able to make whatever tech switch he wants. I said Terran Overlords. I just meant, like, basically Hemist himself. You can consider him an overlord over his Terran army, since they do whatever he tells them to do. If you want to be pedantic about it, and... now I get you, but still, that's what I meant. Yeah, these Widow Mines in position, gonna put a halt to this rock going down, this debris. Only 1 gas geyser here. Yeah, see, I kind of remember that too. Nice production going down here from Hemist still. And his supply, well, he's pretty far behind the supply, it looks like. Logan has 80 workers almost, and he's getting swarm hosts. Continuing to get the melee upgrades, and it looks like Hemist wants to try to do a little bit of work. And seeing these lings, he might think that he's got a pretty good chance. The swarm hosts are going to send in their locusts from the south side, where the lings come in and engage from the north. Oh, the swarm hosts themselves are walking into danger. That, I think, was a bit of a mistake. And lifting up here, that was totally a good trade for Hemist. So, I mean, technically, that's all good for him. Killed all the lings and then picked up. Didn't take any damage from the locust. Now he's dropping into the main with 3 medevacs worth of marines, but it looks like the lings are going to force him off here. There are a lot of lings. And more rallying across the map. Adrenal glands has started. The actual upgrades, though, aren't really there for Logan just yet. These lings are going to pretty much melt, taking out a few marines, but really not a lot. And much more lings died. The upgrades are going to get taken out here. Oh no, he's going to stim into the mineral line, try to get as many drones killed as he can. We got the swarm hosts over here. They're going to try to snipe some bases. That's definitely something that can happen here. But Hemist is getting a lot of damage done in the mineral line here. Going uncontested. Well, slightly contested, but here we go. The Locust breaching the position here, killing a bunch of supply depots. And it looks like Hemist is going to be trying to scout those out. Over here, more and more lings defending. Hemist finding a good location and getting some damage done. Wow, look at the marines over here. It doesn't look like many of the swarm hosts are actually dying, but a lot of them are taking damage, and he's trying to cut them off from over here, and he totally can, but he's got to be paying attention. Oh no, these swarm hosts are in trouble. The lings are finally over here to reinforce. A lot of swarm hosts are going down, but now Hemist is on creep. And wow, this is just incredible here. Hemist getting lots of damage done. Finally, the swarm hosts have their locusts ready, but they're just move commanding all over the place. Eventually, this got taken out, I think. And once again, the swarm hosts shoot their locusts. The Terran player just picks up all his bio. Now, these marines are stimmed like crazy. They're not going to last very long against the Zergling defense. So eventually, they do all get picked up. The swarm hosts here getting ready to take out another base. And once they have their locusts, they will be able to do so. So I would say slightly sloppy play from Logan combined with actually pretty good play from Hemist has resulted in Hemist having a few good engagements. But with Logan actually macroing incredibly behind all of this, the army movement mistakes didn't really matter all that much, as Logan still has a supply lead, he still has a worker lead. He's not going to kill Hemist with these Zerglings here, but he's keeping them busy while the Locusts over here pick off 14 workers, and the next wave can just pick off the base. And again, look at all these bases he's got here, as well as the creep spread is continuing to move. He's getting more bases. He's on hive tech. He's got macro hatches. He's getting 3-3 for his lings. Is there an ultra den? Nope. Wait. Yeah, no ultra den yet. I think he's basically trying to just win with ling swarm host. If he sends another wave here... Yeah, he's going to send another wave, and if he targets down the command center, I believe he should be able to get it. I don't think he really cares that much what they kill, and the command center lifts off, so not going to lose it. The Lings come in and swarm around the rest of the bio, and there's a lot of Lings here. They do have adrenal glands, and they almost have 3-3. So, again, the Lings aren't going to actually land a killing blow, but they are going to essentially keep Hemis back at home, and keep picking off reinforcements, and every few Lings that Logan loses is nothing to him, whereas when he picks off, you know, some of these Marines and Widow Mines and stuff, it actually is pretty expensive for Hemis. Logan actually has 84 drones at the moment. And again, he's got the Swarm Host over here. Gonna try to pick off some more SCVs. Let's see how many he's gonna be able to get. Not very many. Forced to lift off. He's getting Baneling speed here. A little bit late timing for the Baneling speed, I would say, but he hasn't needed it so far. Doesn't even have any Banelings on the field. He's making 56 Lings. And Hemis is just trying to figure out how can he keep moving forward in this game. He's been on a low worker count for quite a while. And now we have 43 Banelings morphing in here for Logan. And this is what you do when you're trying to set up the killing blow. With Baneling speed going to be finished relatively soon. Hemis is moving out on the map with a force that is not large enough to take out probably even half of Logan's army. But he's going to try. Got to be careful here. The Lings are starting to get a wraparound. The Banelings don't have speed yet. And all the Marines get picked up. A few Widow Mines go off, and that was a slightly decent trade here. But look at all these Banelings, and speed is going to finish in 5 seconds. And Hemis has to be wondering to himself, what in the world is he going to do against this kind of thing? The Liberators. He just broke the rocks with the Banelings, and now he's coming in. And I don't know what they're doing over there. They're actually just getting shot by Liberators. But, I mean, this is just weird. Ling, Baneling, Swarm Host. I mean, nothing shoots up, right? So, oh god. Oh no. A little bit of a misplay from Hemis on that one as he's trying to boost into the main. He literally has 6 Marines and how many medevacs? 8? Well, I don't know. They're all dying now. But he had more medevacs than Marines in that attack. And yeah, like Logan is, once again, just kind of letting the game go on here. A little bit of a Marine run by on this side. Gonna survive the Lings, but then the Swarm Hosts are gonna come and take care of him there. He left a lot of his medevacs alive, so I guess that's something. He does have those reactors on those Marines now. But he's going to be running out of money pretty soon. He's got a base over here, which I do like, and he's making more command center. So Hemis is definitely, you know, well-versed in what to do at this point of the game, making sure not to get out macroed and run out of money. You find a lot of times, you know, mid-diamond level players and below will sort of just forget about expanding all over the place throughout the game, and then you just run out of money and die. But Hemis has been doing a good job making sure he's constantly mining. A bunch of Banelings colliding with a huge Bioforce over here. That was something that I had missed. And that was a good engagement coming out of Logan. And the supply is just not able to climb too high as more Banelings are rolling in from this angle. All the bio units going down. He still has so many Banelings left. He's going to crash into... Oh, the Widow Mines! Oh my god! Widow Mine got a huge shot there. But again, it just doesn't even really matter. As Lings and Banelings and Swarm Hosts are finally starting to crash into the main base of Hemis, and he just doesn't have much army left to deal with this. He's got a lot of medevacs and some Liberators, but not much as these barracks are starting to go down here. I think there was an attempted drop somewhere that I may have not seen, but Hemis brings it back, and he's trying to handle this, but even this small amount of Lings here is just taking everything out. The upgrades aren't going to be able to finish either. All of the bases are forced to be lifted, even this one over here, as these Banelings have been looking for something. 48 SCVs have gone down recently, and now he's just flooding Lings across the map. Gonna try to take out these Marines here. The Liberators are in position, but Logan doesn't really care about that. And he's just taking out more and more production. 6 infestors being made. And Hemis is not dead yet. There's some banelings just hiding over here. More and more lings rallying in. And Logan's making 8 infestors. 14 infestors. He's essentially dumping all of his money into infestors. He's got 85 workers still. He's pretty low on money. He's got more banelings being made here. And Hemis is just, you know, continuing to play the game. He's got 12 workers. Sees the banelings running away. Knows he doesn't have to worry too much just now. And I think Logan just wants to meet up with all of his infestors, maybe save a little energy, and then go across and try to do something funny with them, I guess. What if you get Neural Parasite, and then you just neural all the medevacs, so that the medevacs heal your Zerglings instead? That sounds like a solid plan. He's getting to the point where he can almost neural all the Marines as well, and just move across the map with that. So here we go. Hemis is going to come in. He's going to find an undefended base. He's going to pick off a infestor incredibly quickly. Might be able to get this base, but if he does, he's going to lose all of his units. The banelings are coming in, crashing on. Whoa, look at that fungal on all of these medevacs. Is he going to be able to lock them all down? Not quite. He did catch them while they were trying to boost, and here is even more fungals. It looks like he is going to be able to lock most of them down. They do get a boost off, but then they just stop, still in range. Uh-oh. Is something else happening that I don't see? I can't miss this. Okay, I'm going to miss it. Looks like he's just sending lings in, trying to get whatever he can done. The medevacs here just flying on top of all of these infestors. And again, lings, just, we've seen this before in this game multiple times, you know? The infestors are burrowed. There's no vision of them. I think Hemis technically could see. Yeah, you can see them. You can totally see them. Here they are, popping out with more fungals, more infested Terrans. And this is just really starting to fall apart here for Hemis as he is being forced to lift his bases once again. And the infested Terran's going to be able to kill some of these medevacs. Oh, what? He burrowed them. He burrowed the infested Terrans. I actually didn't even know you can do that. And I played Zerg for like 3 years. Maybe 4 years. So there we go. Infestors have done some damage, and they are now just banking up energy once again. Hemis is doing his best to keep his bases running. He's at 68 supply, 27 workers. Oh my god. This is Hemis' main force. Looking like he's trying to catch some reinforcements or something. Logan's coming over here. I don't think he's seen this base up until this point.
Our SCVs are under fire.
Might be the first time he's seen them. But he does see it now. Dropping tons of infested Terrans. I think both of those command centers might die. At least one will. Oh, these infestors don't have a lot of energy left, so a lot of them are going to die here. Couple big fungals going down, but he doesn't have as much energy as he really needs to finish this off, as all of these infestors are going to die. And technically, that's an incredibly expensive army. And if that happened in like a pro level game, oh. He got the repair off. There was 12 hit points left, and he got the repair off, so that command center is going to stay alive. He's got more infestors being remade. These guys have a lot of energy. So his previous problem with not having energy is now over, because now he's got tons of energy. And he's going to unleash it all right here. He's going to catch this army moving out in the open, maybe. Yeah, I think he sees it. He was one fungal growth short. Killing them all. One medevac goes down. More and more lings being banked up here. At this point, we're talking about a 23-minute game that was technically over about 10 minutes ago. But Logan is just making 88 banelings right in front of Hema's face. He's still got all these infestors as well. He's gonna blow up on the command center. GG. And that's gonna do it. But that is actually only the first game of this best of 3 series. So we are going to be moving on to the next map. Will Hemis have a chance? Who knows? Wait, where'd Logan go? Did we lose Logan? I think we lost him. He's not here. I don't see Logan in the party or in the clan. So I think we got a bit of an issue with that. I will tell you what, guys. I'm going to take a super short break. I got to run to the washroom here. While I do that, we're going to try to find Logan and get moving on with this last game, but I'll be back as soon as I can. Well, chances are I'll be here before we even find Logan, but I'll be ready. I'm just going to throw us to a break screen real quick. All right, here we are, guys, getting ready to play in the next match here for the finals of the BG Weekly number 4. We're playing this one on Belshire Vestige. Logan currently has a 1-0 lead, and then his computer crashed, so we had to take a short break and get him back online. And here we are, getting ready for the potential last match of the day on Belshire Vestige. Just loading on in here. I should have known, actually. The loads have been a little longer, probably because most of us haven't even played on these maps in years. So it's kind of like downloading for the first time. But we're getting there. Logan has chosen to play Zerg again. So I wonder what he has in store. It's taking so long. Trying to push it. Come on. Oh, it helps. There we go. All right, so here we are, guys, on Belshire Vestige in the top left corner. Representing Born Gosu, as we all are, it is Hemist. And in the bottom right corner of the map in the blue, showing a dominating performance all day, it is Logan. He's got the 1-0 lead here. So once again, Logan may be showing a dominating performance today, but in the last tournament, he actually got taken out relatively early by Onibram. So, granted, that was a ZVZ, which was probably a lot more up Onibram's alley than it is for Logan, who mains Terran. But still, and it was a close one. It wasn't easy, but still, he was taken out. So, you know, it's not all the time that the GM is just going to completely win the tournament easily. And Hemist had some, he had some flashes of brilliance in that last game. I think that Hemist strikes me as one of those players who has the potential to get very high up in the ladder ranks. Like, Masters and beyond, I feel like if Hemist keeps it up, it just shows that he's got the game sense to play the game right. And he's got some good micro tricks as well. So I think that this is a player we'll be looking out for in the future. Potentially placing highly up here on these Born Gosu weekly tournaments for weeks to come. Well, he's in here scouting, which is going to be very important against Logan. But last time he scouted Logan, he was doing a similar thing. Hatch into gas into pool. Nope, that's wrong. Last time he went 3 hatch before pool, and it just kind of went unscouted. So this time, the scout's there. He's actually going to go back and check to see if there's a 3rd hatch as well. Smart play. He's got the Reaper coming and a command center being built on the low ground. It's going to take quite a lot to wall all of this off. This is a very large opening into the natural. Something that a ton of speedlings can easily take advantage of. We'll see if Logan decides to do that. He's got the Overlord in position. I think he can see it from there, right? Oh, not quite. He hasn't actually seen it, but a 3rd command center going down here to help wall this off. I suppose if you use command centers in your wall, then you can get it walled off a little bit easier. So pretty greedy play coming out of Hemist here. We'll see. The Reaper's coming on in. The Lings are in position to block this off. It looks like Logan went with 4 Lings this time. He's actually only going to use the Queen to push this away. The Reaper, I believe it can get up here, maybe. I think it can. So the Lings are in a pretty good position to block that. And Hemist is just going to be on the lookout for a 3rd base with that Reaper. While he tries to macro up behind, he's getting a factory and some Marines and a bunker. Smart decision with the bunker there. And at this point, like, it's already too late, right? We got a real fast lair, by the way, and it's scanned by Hemist, so he's going to see this. And he knows he's going to have to be defensive against something. And with our, you know, all-knowing vision, I believe it's going to be a Spire that we're going to see coming up. Although, that said, the gases are only just now going down. Is it going to be a Spire? Why else would you rush a lair? Oh, okay. Or it's going to be an infestation pit again. So, Logan going back into his old ways here. This time hasn't made a single ling besides the opening 4. Just going to drone up. He still doesn't have a third base either, though. So this is going to be 2 bases, which is a lot different than in the last game where he had, like, 17 bases. So, you know, if he is going for Swarm Host, it's going to be pretty expensive for him. Second factory going down here from Hemis, looking like he's going to try something different this time. I think the Swarm Host decision is actually pretty good. This scan indicates paranoia to me. When you're scanning your 4th base like that, unless he thought he had some other reason to scan over there, but that is a scan from a Terran player who is really wondering what is going on and why hasn't he seen his opponent in a little while, and what is he doing? Is he proxy hatching my 4th? Or is he hiding a bunch of units over there? So Hem is getting that down. He's getting the... Oh, wait. Okay, no. Engineering bay and a armory. So that's pretty normal. The game is just waiting to pick up here. Going right into Hive. So he might not even be going for Swarm Host here. He's literally going 2 base Hive. Is this going to be a Nidus? Okay. What's this drone for? A Nidus is an option. The Overlord can get in position. Second barracks coming down, huh? So this isn't necessarily mech. Still getting bio upgrades as well. We'll see how that works out for him. The Hive is done. The Ultra Cavern. He's going to do Nidus Ultra. That's going to be pretty interesting. Ultra is pretty bad against mech units, but there's not a lot of mech units. It looks like he wants to go into a Widowmine based play. This kind of thing is really fun. It's pretty hard, and you can find yourself overrun very easily if it doesn't work out, but he's trying it. But the Widowmines might not be the greatest decision against the Ultralisks. We'll see how it goes. He's obviously going to be throwing the Queens in there as well. There's no upgrades. He's got 3 Evo chambers, but no actual upgrades on both sides of the map. +1, as we had mentioned, is getting done, but not finished yet. He's getting chitinous plating, though. Is that worth it? I thought chitinous plating was only worth it when you were, like, you know, on +3 armor, but maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? We haven't really seen it being used this way in a long while. Both players have had a small army count thus far. The Widowmines are starting to pump out here. Looking like he wants to move out with them. Drilling Claws is going to be finished, and this is where it can really throw off the Zerg. But it looks like the Nidus is going to be coming in very soon. The Overlord's trying to get in position. Everything is moving out of the base. There is the Nidus. Is he going to turn around, or is he just going to keep moving forward? He's going to realize there's really nothing here to attack with these Widowmines, and the Nidus is about to pop here. He's scanning now. He sees the Ultralisk running into the main. He's probably wondering what the hell is even happening as all of these Queens pop out with Ultralisks. There's 4 of them here. Probably going to be a 5th one that pops out at some point too. And this is just like, what the heck is even happening as the Starport has to lift off. Creep is already being spread. And this, guys, is the Ultralisk Queen Nidus rush at 7.5 minutes approximately. And it hits the Terran this hard. Now, there's still Widowmines here that are trying to get into position. I don't think anything happened on this side. Now, more and more Ultras are just rallying into the Nidus here. The Widowmines... I mean, one Ultra can just, like, tank all these. If they all go off and splash, that's going to hurt. But there's Transfuse as well from the Queens. One Ultra does go down. In fact, a few have gone down at this point. The tank is in a good position, and the buildings are just flying over here. So this doesn't look that bad for Hemis at the moment. He's going to be losing some key buildings here for free, which is going to be pretty frustrating. And there's more and more ultras being made. 3 more ultras being made somehow off of 2 base. And it looks like Logan is thinking about expanding to a 3rd here. He's coming up here, I guess. Or what is he doing? I think he wants to expand. Yeah, he's coming over here. That's an odd 3rd base placement there. But again, more buildings dying here. But Hemis is going to try to essentially wall up here with these supply depots and try to defend. But it looks like Logan just wants to go back home. That's what it feels like to me. He's going to go up to a 3rd base and figure out what he wants to add to this. Yeah, he's trying to spread creep all up here too. That's not going to work. Hemis doesn't seem to really have a lot left though. And he's got a lot more places to defend. He's taking another base over here. Both players having similar ideas here, trying to move into the mid-game now at 9.5 minutes. I guess it's past the mid-game, but you know, it felt like an early cheese that just hit much later, which I guess is a ridiculous thing to say. Another Nidus going down here, just right in his face. What did he have in the Nidus worm? Well, why don't we actually just see? As more and more queens are popping out, he's going to start spreading creep again. The ultras are starting to go ham on this barracks. The SimCity is, you know, it's not necessarily expertly put together, but it is annoying the Zerg player a bit because he's got these big bulky units, and the buildings are getting in the way. But once again, he's just destroying everything on this half of the map. The tank isn't over here. There is a Liberator, but the queens can actually take out the Liberator. A second Liberator shows up to try to shore up the defenses here, and this is not necessarily an efficient trade for Logan. He's losing quite a bit to this Liberator. The transfuses are good, though, and a lot of the Ultras are still alive. Once again, this tank isn't really in the greatest position, and the mines don't do much. They don't do much to the Ultras as the Ultras are continuing to force their way through. These Marines in the back here have a decent position, but there's so few of them. And I don't see anything else happening. There's an orbital command flying across the map here. I don't know why. And again, you know, Hemis has this highly defensible position here. And it's just kind of weird for Logan. Uh-oh. Oof. Okay, that was a good trade here. Those Widow Mines definitely paying for themselves. A lot of these queens are dead. And the more queens that die, the easier the Liberators will be able to help defend. But Hemis doesn't have any more Liberators, and he's not actually making any. And I'm wondering what his plan is with all this money that he's got, because he could easily afford a few more Liberators to defend. But does he not have a star... Wait a minute, is that what happened? So it turns out in order to build Liberators, you need to have a starport. So I'm sorry, Hemis, I wasn't trying to make it out to be like you were making a bad mistake. I just didn't realize you didn't have a starport. So he's trying to get that out now. These Widow Mines are going down. The Ultras are trying to push in. There's a bunker and a tank, and SCV's repairing the tank. And Logan is treating this like he doesn't really care. He's just letting the Ultras do whatever they're going to do. Getting on top of the tank now. That tank is going to go down. And all of these Lings rallying in from the thinger over there, the Nidus. And eventually Hemis is going to get cleaned up. He's got 1 worker left, 10 supply total. GG. And that's going to do it for the Born Gosu Weekly. Logan is going to be your champion. And we can't say that he didn't show us any really cool games. Oh, wrong scene there. Can't say that he didn't show us any cool games. That was definitely pretty neat to cast. Some crazy games happened. Some of them went a little long, but that's totally okay. And Logan is going to take it here for Born Gosu Weekly number 4. We got Hemis coming in a very respectable 2nd place. And that's going to do it. So once again, we had a small amount of players today. I think there's a lot of different factors that sort of keyed into that, but a main one probably being WCS going on right now. And it's a really hype tournament. So those of you that are watching this, thank you so much for taking time out of WCS to watch this with us and cheer on your team. We all appreciate it. Big shout out to Paul for running the tournament and fighting through so many different issues that had come up. Big thank you to him. And that's going to do it. So everybody get out there and go watch some WCS. I believe it's still going on, hopefully. And we will see you next week for the next Born Gosu Weekly. You guys have a great day, and we'll see